All right, Steve, it's in a huge change of heart. One of Donald Trump's most prominent critics recently revealed why she'll be voting for Donald Trump after all.
This is no longer a choice for me on personalities because I'm not a fan of either one. What it is about is policy. The best person based on the policies and dealing with things like Obamacare still is Donald Trump. That doesn't mean it's an easy vote, but it does mean that I'm watching out for the people of South Carolina and I'm watching out for the people of this country, and that's who I will be voting for on November 8th.
Wow, our next guest says this is the lesson to every working American, building off what the governor just said. Here to explain is Crowdpac CEO and former advisor to UK Prime Minister David Cameron, Steve Hilton. Steve, you wrote a column about this, building off the Nikki Haley quote. Why?
Because I think that it goes to the heart of the choice that people have to make in the election, which is what are going to be the real-world consequences of the outcome for real people. If you look at what the Clinton campaign are doing, basically the whole campaign along, they've just been saying, don't vote for Trump because of his personal behavior. You saw even yesterday where she wheels out Miss Universe. There's no argument.
From Venezuela.
That's right. There's no argument about his policies, about his tax plan, his support for school choice, any of that stuff. It's just his personal behavior means he can't be president. Now, if you're rich, you can afford to take that view because, to be honest, if you have a President Clinton and the Democrats and more of the same economic stagnation, it doesn't really affect you. Your life is going to be fine. But if you're a working American who's really struggling to pay the bills, you don't find the job opportunities there, you're worried about the future for your kids, you can't afford to have 4 more years of the same economic stagnation. And that's why you've got to put the real impact before personal behavior and really look at policy.
You're the professional Politico, but if I'm a candidate and I hired you to finish off my campaign, and my best closing argument is how bad the other guy is, I think I'm a failed candidate. It's all they're talking about is how thin-skinned, he doesn't pay taxes, and look at how he views women.
It's really embarrassing if you think about the fact that this is a person, Hillary Clinton, who's basically been plotting and scheming for this for 30 years. And right a few days before her big moment, she hasn't got a single inspiring message about the change that she will bring to real people's lives. She's just slagging off the other guy. It's really kind of embarrassing. And I think when people think about, well, when I come and vote and I really have to think about the impact of my vote on real life, that is the key, crucial factor.
So many people look to Donald Trump and say, just prove yourself electable. And he kept tripping himself up. For the last 2.5 weeks, all he does is talk about policy. He was getting cheers on policy yesterday and barely brought up emails. Fascinating as we look to see the close of this campaign where most national polls have it within 2 points.
It's exactly right, because all along, right from the beginning, when Trump has been talking about the issues and about real change in real people's lives, he does well. And so when you have, like we saw a headline in the New York Times not long ago, which is, how could anyone vote for Trump?
Yeah, you write that in your column, how could anyone vote for Trump? And you come back is that really your best argument for voting for Clinton?
That's right. How could anyone vote for Trump? Because they don't want to, they literally can't understand how anyone could support a candidate with those personal characteristics. But that's because they don't want to engage in the real argument about what difference is going to be the result of voting for Trump versus Clinton on the economy, on schools, on healthcare, where he's got the message of change. And all she's saying is basically you're going to end up with more of the same, which has left the rich richer, but half of America earning less today than about 15 years ago.
Who would think a month ago we'd be talking 6 days out, we still don't know who's going to win. But that is exactly the case. Steve Hilton, great to see you. Good job. All right.